Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first Monday in October Metaphysical Chat. I'm so happy and delighted that you are here. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Hello to Becky, Debbie, Mark, Susan, Amy, Joan. Awesome to see you here. Mark and I have a little date. I'm going to be answering some questions that he presented to me on the last Metaphysical Chat for some famous departed celebrities. So we're going to do that pretty close to the beginning. I want to wait a little bit and let people get here before we dive too deep because I want to do a little opening prayer blessing for those people who are still suffering from the Hurricane Helene and the ones who are now in the path of Mitch. So we want to definitely send out those angels to help those people. That's the most powerful thing that we can do, unless, we happen to have our own rescue equipment, which most of us don't. So let's see. Hey, Barbara, welcome. So you guys, I don't know if you saw or not, Helen posted the looks like I just blitzed out for a minute. So hopefully, angels, we need the internet to work tonight, please and thank you. Hey, Craig. Hey, Marby. I just want to grab you that link so that you've got it. It's Project 2025 Expose the Diabolical Plan to End Democracy. And if you were on the fundraiser with us, you will have seen parts of that because I segmented it and edited it to play during the fundraiser. But you wouldn't have seen the whole thing because there were pieces I had to cut out for time. So the whole thing is now available on Helen's channel. And here is the, oops. Let me just get the proper info in there for you. It's hard to type and talk at the same time, so forgive me for just a moment there. All right, so now you've got the link, so you can see that when you get a chance. She just posted it, I think, this morning, so it's ready to go. And I've been hinting that we've got something special coming up for Halloween, so keep an eye out for that, too. We've got some really interesting people we're going to be talking to. Okay, let's see. What have we got here with comments? Hi, Melinda. It's been a while. Great to see you. Hi, Laura. And Linda, Debbie, Letty, Mary Ann. Oh, Mary Ann, it's so good to see you. I hope you're feeling well tonight. Yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. So I'm tap dancing a little bit, letting people get here before we do our opening prayer. Hi, Chris. Great to have you here. You didn't see a live yet? Oh my gosh. Well, I'm so glad you made it tonight. Okay, I'm just looking for a different window here. It's so crazy the way these windows line up. There we go. I want to be sure that I'm looking at the chat with everybody and not just the top comments. Because, if you're familiar with doing the YouTube chat, that's somehow, they get you with that sometimes because you just don't know what's going on. Just mute that. There we go. That's better. Sorry, I had to mute that. Now I forget what I was talking about. But that's all right. Hey, Serena. Great to have you here. Oh, yeah. Top chat versus live chat. Oh, that's funny. So, Serena, when I said hey to you, my Siri kicked on thinking that I was calling for Siri. That happened with somebody else last week. It is too funny. She's a little too sensitive for her own good. Hey, Elena, glad you could be here. Joan. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like the leaves. Yeah, it just felt fun for that time of year. So let's see. What have we got going on here? We have 23 people, so that's probably good enough to get started. So we're going to start with a little opening prayer. We like to do that anyway, but I want to do one especially tonight because of all the storm victims, already victims, and the ones to come, because we want to see if we can help mitigate that situation. The angels have told us in the past that if we call upon them in great enough numbers, they can help by mitigating the circumstances that are coming. So as much as they can, they will. Maybe they can't stop it entirely because there are other factors at play, but they can, oh gosh, what's the word? They can contain it. So it's not as devastating as it might have otherwise been. So take a couple of deep breaths. Let's do that before I get running too far ahead of myself. Okay. So, angels, masters, teachers, guides, enlightened beings, creator, Metatron, anyone from the higher realms and the light who wants to help us, please come draw near into our circle tonight. And I call upon everyone who's here with us tonight, your divine teams, to join us in this massive circle that we're creating of love, light, higher consciousness. Join with us in our love and our intention to spread peace, joy, and love across the planet so that it might infect everyone that it touches with joy, peace, and love, to mitigate the hatred, the bigotry, the war. We need that gone. We need that gone ASAP. And for all of those who were impacted by Hurricane Helene, we call upon you to help them in whatever way you can to get back to some sort of a semblance of normal life. Those who still don't have power or food, please send the rescue units in to help them sooner. Please, sooner. Whatever you can do to make that sooner, to help those people as they're in the wake of now oncoming Hurricane Mitch. And angels, we ask you, please put a cap on Mitch. Mitigate the heck out of that storm so that it just collapses into maybe just a rainstorm. As much as you can clamp down on that storm, please do. We ask you with much love, with gratitude, to help us in that endeavor. And here in the U.S., as we're facing so much turmoil with the coming elections, please bring a blanket of peace. Put it over all of us. And you can put it over the entire world too. Bring that blanket of peace and love to calm people down, to help them get back in touch with their divine self so that they remember the golden rule of loving one another, treating one another with kindness, helping out where we can. That's where we want to get back to. And in fact, we'd like to go forward to an even better version because it definitely needed improvement. So thank you all for being here. We're going to jump in, answer a bunch of questions, and have a lot of fun. Thank you, team. Appreciate and love you. All right. So let's see. Oh, Barbara, you already voted. You're going to put it in the Dropbox. That's awesome. Awesome. Hey, Nancy, glad to see you here. Yeah, prayers of protection for the people. And, please, whatever you feel led to do, send out more because we just can't do enough of that. More is better. Absolutely. Hey, Beth, glad you could be here. And Butterfly Barbara, glad to see you. All right, it looks like I've seen everybody there. All right, so I teased you at the beginning that I had some messages to share from some deceased celebrities that Mark asked about. So let's do those right off the top. And perhaps they will inspire you for some things that you want to ask. Because remember, tonight is metaphysical questions. So if you want to ask something personal, find a way to make it metaphysical so that it applies to more people. So that it's not just a personal thing, so we can handle those. And also, as Debbie said, on the third Saturday, that's when I have the Zoom call so that I can actually see you face to face and we get a much deeper read that way. We can do some really great stuff through the YouTube chat, but we can go even deeper when I can actually see you and do follow-up questions, because so many times there's something left hanging that maybe we could have gotten and given you a better answer had we been able to connect back and forth with those questions. So that's the purpose there. All right. So for Mark, here are the questions. He's asking of Bela Lugosi. Now, if you don't know, Bela Lugosi is a famous departed actor who did a lot of Dracula movies. He did other things, but I think he's best known for Dracula. So Bela, I'd like to know, what do you think about your son and family who are still living? The son is not in good health, but the family is running the business and they're bringing out content, merchandise for the fans. And he also wants to know what Bela's been up to on the other side, and does he visit with his fans? So Mark, this is really cool. Bela came out very enthusiastically and very quickly, which I was surprised about. That was kind of cool. And he says, it fills me with joy that I'm still remembered. My legacy lives on, and I'm grateful to my family and the fans who make it all possible. You likely have no idea how wonderful it feels to be able to provide for your family long after you've departed the mortal coil. That feels sort of superhuman and quite delightful. My son has had a good long life. He comes from good stock, that one, and he says that with a wink. We all know the skin suits our souls wear are temporary. When they're worn out, it's time to exit stage right. Perfectly natural. Nothing to fret about. When my son is ready, we'll be reunited. Until then, I enjoy keeping an eye on what he's up to. And then he says, toodaloo, I must fly now. And so, Mark, let me know. That makes sense. It's what you expected, or, if there's a follow-up. I'm just shrinking my window here so I can see everything. That's better. Okay, so next we have Lon Chaney Jr., and you might remember him as the Wolfman. He also played a lot of characters. I think he was called the Man of 1,000 Faces. Pretty sure that was him. He wore all these costumes, and so you wouldn't necessarily recognize him, but he was really great at that. So you asked Lon that you had this dream that he came to you, and you had publicly defended him because people had written bad things about him. So you're wondering whether that's the reason he came to you, and was that true? And then you also had a question about forgiving his father because he did some things to his mother. And then you wanted to check up on the grandson and a missing movie, I think called London After Midnight, a missing movie that you've been trying to track down because there's only one copy. And then about the grandson keeping the Chaney legacy going, but he's having trouble getting the star on the Walk of Fame. So will that ever happen? You had a lot of questions, Mark. And also you interviewed his grandson, Ron, in 2013, and that was a story in a magazine. So you want to know whether he saw that. All right, so this is what Lon had to say. The dream was a construct of your psyche working things out. He did not create it. However, he's happy if it was helpful. He was aware that you defended him, and he was gratified by your actions. And then he says, what passed between my parents is their business. We've all put that behind us, as it was so long ago, and many happy events have transpired since then. Our perspectives when in spirit are very different from the human emotions you're familiar with. We're able to put them in context and not take them personally. It's all part of the journey. With regard to the grandson, of course I'm aware of his activities. Those we love are omnipresent. Watching from afar, celebrating their triumphs, that's all part of the package. We're great multitaskers, you see. About the movie, it's highly likely that it will be found. It's unclear whether the person you indicated has it, though. There's some weird energy around that it's just kind of in between. And the energy feels like he might think that he has it or he once had it, but the present whereabouts are still in question. It's like somebody is playing a game. You know that game they play where they have the cups and the balls and they move it around? I forget what that's called. But it feels like that kind of a game where they're switching things up, trying to deliberately obfuscate because they're not ready to let it come out yet. But he says it should come out in the future. The Hollywood Walk of Fame star is unlikely to happen. So sorry about that. He did not see the story that you wrote, but he's pleased that you took the time to interview the grandson and publish the story. He says one always likes to be remembered. You must understand, I'm long and far removed from my life as Lon, and my attentions are mostly diverted elsewhere. It's not like we're over here watching a movie of what's happening on Earth. We check in from time to time, but not at the granular level where I'd be likely to read a story in a magazine. Then you ask about Glenn Strange. Now, sorry, I don't know who Glenn Strange is, but you did say he was on Gunsmoke. So, Glenn, you wanted to ask whether it was him that you saw in a dream or vision, asking about doing an interview. You wanted to know if his face being used for the Frankenstein monster on shirts and posters and for collections, how he feels about that. What is he doing on the other side? That was your other question. And has he been in touch with his co-stars from Gunsmoke that are on the other side as well? So he says, sorry, I'm not familiar with the dream to which you're referring. It didn't come from me. Thank you, though, for remembering me. It's not, he said, I'm not at all attached to that iteration of my face, nor what is done with it. That's a triviality from my present perspective and unimportant. That was in regard to his face being used on merchandise. And then, this is really interesting, he says, I'm quite fond of astrology and spend an inordinate amount of time studying the stars. Along with my astrological studies, I'm plotting and planning for a future incarnation, lining up the stars for the most satisfying life experience. I spend time visiting with some of the souls I've had incarnations with, mostly those in my soul circle. While I have crossed paths with some of the old Gunsmoke gang, I don't go out of my way to spend time with them. You have to remember, we were co-workers with a common project. Once it was over, we moved on. Although if one of the gang scheduled a get-together, I'd show up. And then he finishes with, collectively, I can tell you that souls over here are always touched to be remembered. You'd be surprised about the number of people who spin tall tales about themselves and a departed celebrity. Some are true. Far more are a figment of their imagination, and we find that quite humorous. Then you asked about Elvis. You were performing one night, Can't Help Falling in Love, and after you finished the performance, people remarked to you that it sounded like Elvis's voice came through you, so like you channeled Elvis. And you also wanted to know about his daughter, Lisa Marie, since she's passed, and your friend Kenny, who you believe that Elvis knew. So Elvis says, why, thank you for remembering. It's true, you were channeling me that night. Once in a while, I enjoy popping in to enliven a performance for an aspiring singer. It feels good to sing, and it feels good to share that experience with the performer. You might consider it a little mischievous. No harm intended. Sometimes a man's got to do what a man's got to do, and then he winks. Yes, my Lisa Marie is here with me. We had a splendid reunion along with other family members. We have quite a tribe here. I wish she'd been able to stay there longer to look after her family, but when your number's up, that's all there is. No looking back. Oh, sure, I've met Kenny. He was kind with his praise and memories. I enjoy walking down memory lane with fans when they show up over here. Of course, you've got to understand, those souls all have their own agendas. Catching up with their loved ones, going through a life review, planning future incarnations, and there's plenty of just being. After the rat race on Earth, there's a need to just be. Thank you for singing my songs and remembering me. It means the world, you know? And that's the end of the questions from Mark. So I look forward to your comments. All right, let's just see what questions I've missed over here now. Amy, you wanted to say thank you for the fundraising. You are a devoted listener and participant in Annette Dion's Psychic News Network, and we need to get her songs on Midas Touch Network, for those who wonder what the acronyms were. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. We'll keep putting it out there, Amy, and asking the angels to facilitate. That's the best thing that we can do, other than sharing it ourselves as much as we can. And Susan, you love those songs. Absolutely. Joan, this is your first metaphysical live stream. Excited to see what it's about. So by now you've got an idea. So hopefully you've got some questions to add. It's anything you can think about metaphysical. What I hope to do with this is, it's first of all spending time together, just hanging out and talking to the angels. But also it's about raising our consciousness. So what are some things that you would like to know metaphysically that maybe you don't understand? And they can be really far out questions. I have no objection to that. Let's see what the angels have to share with us. Let's push the limits and learn more together. That's the opportunity that we have here. Okay, let's see, what do we got left here? Lots of hellos. Okay, so that I've seen. Let's see. Almost caught up to you. Hang on. Serena, you just caught the live stream. I'm so glad. That's awesome. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, the chat is set so that you have to be a subscriber to the channel in order to comment. So if you're out there watching and you're trying to comment and you can't, that's the reason. Because I want to give preference to my subscribers. They should get the first chance to get their questions answered. I will do some live streams that are just open to everybody, but the metaphysical live stream is for subscribers. So if you subscribe, in 5 minutes time, you'll be able to add your own comments. So if you wondered what it was, that's what it is. Chris, you thought you were a muggle. Okay. Oh, Serena, you're not a Siri. Yeah, I got you there. Oh, boy, I don't think any of us are. She's amazing. Craig, on Kim Intuitive Views channels, they had a fundraiser for the animals that survived the hurricane. That's so beautiful. Yeah. There's probably going to be a lot more of that, which is why I'm really up in the air about what to do about the third fundraiser. So I still haven't gotten the details from the angels on what that will look like exactly, but I'll let you know. And I really feel very strongly that that's not about the money. It would be about getting the numbers of people like we talked about last time. We just need the numbers of people to stand up and say, I am in favor of supporting democracy and Harris for president. That's what we're looking for, because there are just so many people out there in need right now and fundraisers everywhere. And I know you guys, there's only so much you can do. We don't want to wear that out. So I will keep you posted on that. Oh, and that brings up something else. I don't know how many of the wrenches are here yet, but I had talked to you last time about doing a live stream just for the wrenches. So only wrenches would get to ask questions. I want to do a wrench appreciation night. And I'm kind of thinking about maybe next Monday, same time. So let me know, does that work for you? Would you be willing to come and ask questions as the wrenches next Monday? Because we need a bunch of you to come so we can show you that appreciation. Yes, prayers of protection. Debbie, you mailed your ballot. Awesome. Yeah, in PA, we don't have early voting, so you can do absentee or vote on the day. So we chose to just vote on that day. We want to go there and hand in those ballots ourselves, just not taking any chances. Hey, T-Lynn, welcome. Corrine, you're in St. Petersburg awaiting the arrival of Milton, hoping for protection and safety. So please, angels, put an extra bubble of protection around Corine and her family. Please and thank you. Yeah, and if you feel you need to get out, don't hesitate, go. Because that's what Metatron's been telling us for over a year now. If your intuition is saying, hey, it's not safe, don't stay until it's too late to get out. Because, sometimes we'll tell ourselves a story. I don't have the time to get out. I don't have the resources to get out. I just can't leave this stuff behind. And, when it's life and death, none of those things are important. You find a way. Even if you have to, pile into somebody else's car just to get out of there. It's better to do that and be safe. And also then you're not putting the responders' lives at risk. So really think long and hard about what is really true, because I know a lot of people will tell themselves, I can't leave for whatever reason. But if they knew that it would cost them their life or that of somebody they loved, they probably would have found a way to get out. And Craig says, yeah, Bela was Dracula in 1931 Universal. He was something, huh? Liz, Hurricane Milton on the way to Cozumel. Prayers, please. Yes, so angels. Please put your protective bubble around Liz in Cozumel. Keep she and her loved ones safe. Please and thank you. Oh, thank you, Craig. It was Lon Chaney Sr. that was the man of 1,000 faces. Okay. And London After Midnight, 1927 film, so far lost. Lost in 1963. Yeah, Mark was saying he had a lead. He thinks he might know where it's at. But it sounds like that's still up in the air. And Craig is saying that nitrate film stock is hard to handle, very flammable. Yeah, well, the people that are involved in that, I'm sure, are aware of that because that's a really important detail. Glenn Strange was an actor. He took over the Frankenstein part after Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi. Okay. You are just a fount of old Hollywood, aren't you, Craig? It's so awesome. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome. AK, Judy. Hi, Betty. Much love to you, Sister of Six. So happy to see you. Yes, Susan, today is the 1-year anniversary of October 7 in Israel, and that started this war in the Middle East that we're dealing with right now. What do the guides say about the future there? Let's ask. So, Metatron or anybody who's available, what can you tell us? Any enlightenment that you can give us about the war in the Middle East now? They're so devastated right along with us. They're crying. They're sad. They want it to be over. They are facilitating in every way that they can. So, if you're feeling their presence on that issue, that's not your imagination. They really are there intervening in every way that's available to them. What else? They are whispering in the ears of the leaders, trying to soften their hearts to get them to lean towards peace. And they're saying some of them, their hearts are just so hardened that they really can't get through to them. But they are working on everybody that they can. Can you give us a timeline when this might end? I realize there's a lot that's up in the air, but if you can give us any kind of timeline. Might it end before the end of 2024? No, probably longer than that. So sometime in 2025? Yeah, that's more hopeful. Would it first quarter of 2025? Second quarter? So maybe second quarter. And would that be to completely cease fire and declare peace? No, probably not, but it would be a beginning. So right now it looks like sometime in the second quarter of 2025, we can expect things to start settling down and moving in the direction of peace, but it's going to take a while for all that to unravel. But the good news is, what is that, halfway through 2025? That's better than it continuing on beyond 2025. There's just so much unrest now that's spreading to the neighboring countries so can you tell us, will this get shut down before it spreads and causes all-out war in the neighboring countries? It's highly likely, yes. Yeah. So if the plan goes as they've just described it, where it starts shutting down mid-2025, then that should stop it from spreading as it might have otherwise. Hey, Moonchild, welcome. Debbie, you're feeling a new guide coming into your life. Okay, so how can we make that metaphysical? So if someone's feeling a new guide coming into their life, what would you advise them to do? Be more present in the moment, because if you're feeling that, it's probably true. That doesn't just come out of nowhere. So if you're feeling that, then you will either cause it to happen or you will allow it to happen by making the space, by being open to it and looking for the signs. Now, when you get the signs that they're there, take some time to listen, to connect. This is a new guide. So there will be a period of time where you're getting to know one another, what the language is like, what the signs are like, how you connect with them. So all of that is really exciting, and just be open to that. going with the flow, and also asking them to please connect with you. You can ask for something specific, or you can just in general ask them to find a way of tapping you on the shoulder, giving you, twinges in your stomach, whatever, so that you recognize when they're nearby and ready to start that conversation. But that's really exciting. Kay, you worry so much about the animals during the disasters, and you're so glad Kim had the fundraiser. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people doing that. It's so sad, those animals. But then there are all the wonderful stories that come out, too, of people and animals being saved. So we have to be grateful for that as well. Mark, you're happy that Elvis answered back. Yeah, that was a really interesting answer. Just right away, he came out with, he likes doing that, which reminded me a little bit of John Lennon. I talked to him on Helen's channel. We did a whole conversation with John Lennon, and he said that he enjoys going and helping aspiring musicians when they're working on their music. He'll hang around, he'll inspire them, he'll guide them. Most of them probably don't have a clue, but he enjoys doing that. It lets him keep his fingers in the creative pie. Rossi, you want to know about the light work you're supposed to do in this lifetime? Well, again, try to make this metaphysical so it covers everybody, not just you, not personal, but more general. So for the people on the call tonight, team, can you give them some insights into how they can best serve as light workers in this lifetime? It's being more present in the moment. That right now is the most important thing for most of us to do, because the angels are upping the game. They are right there talking to us more than ever before, doing cartwheels and tumbling and whatever they can do to get our attention, because now it's needed more than ever before. So you can do the 2 to 5 minute meditations multiple times a day. Metatron has talked about that a lot in recent messages. If you haven't gotten that, check the August Lightworker forecast and the October Lightworker forecast. He put it in both places. In fact, he issued a challenge to you for each day in September to at least do 2 to 5 minute, just pausing, connecting. You don't have to do any more than that, just giving them the space to come in, then listening. And if you get something, take action. Even if you're unsure about what you got, take action. See what happens. And write it all down, because when you have the successes, when you clearly know you got a message and you responded, you want to write that success down so that in the future, when you're having a blue day where you just feel like you can't get anything right, go back and read those messages where you did get it right, and that will encourage you to stay on track. So that's really important, to write it down. Keep track of your results. So for everybody, the light work we're doing in this lifetime is about bringing in Earthtopia. We came here as souls for this lifetime to change the world, to take us out of all the old negative patterns, the hate, the bigotry, the war, to shift us into the new enlightened age of Earthtopia, which will last for a good long time. That's why we're here. In fact, as souls, we had to compete to be here at this time. Lots of souls wanted to be here because as far as personal soul growth goes, it doesn't get any better than this. So if you're here, consider yourself privileged and honored to be here at this time, and do everything that you can to spread love, light, peace, and joy across the globe to everybody. That's why we're here. And coming together like this lifts us up to a higher level, enables us to do even more. So, getting together in groups like this is really important. Oh, Debbie, you were talking with a friend in Florida. Yeah, I hope she's okay. Carefree, your first time? I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Da Vinci, does Da Vinci have anything to say about exploring the afterlife or the attention his art gets these days? Yeah, that's a cool question. Let's ask. So, Leonardo da Vinci, are you available? Would you like to speak with us? He does a tip of the hat to us, indicating yes. Okay. So, Can you tell us anything about the afterlife? Is there anything particularly that you'd like to share about that? It's not like anything that you expected. Very different. Very fluid, very flexible. What's the word? He's saying ginormous. It's ginormous. Bigger than you can even imagine. More fun. They get to play a lot. They get to indulge their imagination and their whims, because it's about joy, expansion, expression. So they get to hang out with people that they lived and loved while they were alive in many past lives, not just the most recent. They can connect with all of them. They connect with their soul family. They do go to soul school because there's always more to learn. As eternal souls, we never get done with the learning. Yeah, we get a lot of it when we're here incarnated, but there's also a lot of work that we do in between lifetimes as well. And they get to go do things that bring them joy that they might have enjoyed when they were incarnated. They can do all of that. So if you saw that movie, What Dreams May Come, with Robin Williams, it's a lot like that. They think it, it's there, they experience it. So they're unlimited, totally unlimited as souls. So Leonardo, anything else you want to say about the afterlife? Don't be in a hurry. Take your time. Stay there in that body as long as you can, because there's so many experiences, so much gusto and jubilation for you to experience. Don't cut that short. Stay and enjoy. You'll be here again soon enough. And what about the attention that your art gets? How do you feel about that? It's an honor. It's always an honor to be remembered. And when I look down and see some of my pieces that I didn't think were all that great selling for ginormous amounts of money and being showcased in some of the famous museums, it just tickles my fancy. I love it. Never expected it, and it's so much fun. But I have to tell you, as a soul, I don't get caught up in the ego stuff like you do when you're in a body. So while I enjoy it, it's not a huge focus for me. So I do want to make that clear to you, that there is that difference when we are in spirit versus when we are embodied. So I enjoy it from afar, but there's far more things that I occupy myself with. More research to be done, more things to learn to prepare for the next lifetime. And that's a big part of what we do over here. We make our pre-birth plan, which takes a great deal of time and effort planning, far more than you can even imagine, as we coordinate with all the souls that we want to incarnate with the next time, so that we can all come in the right time and place, an opportunity to create the next life as we envision it to be. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Oh, okay, Debbie. So you're booked on Mondays, so Tuesdays are better. Yeah, I can do Tuesday. Yeah, I just want to hear from a few more people, and I'll try and pick the time and day that works the best for everybody. It feels like a lot of people who show up on my lives are night owls. So, doing the 9 o'clock spot seems to be good because other people have already finished their lives, and that's a spot that's available. So we'll do a little experimentation and figure out what's best. Okay, you have early voting on October 21st. Awesome. Yeah, let's get all those votes in there and counted. Amy, you have been gifted with angelic healing after a fall on the ice a couple years ago, and you thank them every time you pass the place the healing happened. Oh, that's so beautiful. Yeah, continuing to express that gratitude is a wonderful way to connect with your angels, because they respond to that and they'll be right there offering more to you. Plus, just the fact that you can trust them, that they came when you called and did the healing. That's wonderful. Moonchild, you have family in Florida. So sending love and light, angels, to Moonchild's family. Please protect them. Keep them safe. Help them to leave if they need to leave. Please and thank you. Craig, you were born in Hollywood. Ah, okay. That explains part of it. Judy, you received 3 of my books today. Wow. Well, thank you, Judy. That is so exciting. Looking forward to reading and working on the meditations and hearing from the guides and angels. Yeah. Keep us posted, and please do join the Facebook group. You'll find the link for that in the Path to Hearing Angels and Guides. And come in there. Let us support you and help you as you go on your journey of learning how to hear your angels and to do your own channeling. It's just such a delicious experience. I wish it for everybody. And that's the course that Archangel Metatron designed to help everybody to get there faster, because we need it right now. We need more people on board knowing how to communicate with the angels so that we can get more out to more people faster. So thank you for being one of those people. Betty, when you were around 15, your classmate Mary Lou told you your future in high school study hall, and she was right. She even mentioned 2025, something big was happening. Wow, that is so cool. Well, if you're still in touch with her, it would be really interesting to have a follow-up. Amy, 60% of the Israeli people do not support what is being done. Yeah, I believe that. Oh, Susan, I'm sorry. On the verge of tears all day. It's a rough day. Just, I'm putting my arms around you and hugging you, and the angels are putting their arms around me, and so we're making this big sandwich. You're encircled by angels. We're all holding you, filling you with golden creator light, pouring all over you and all over us, splashing all over. Just a vast amount of that beautiful golden energy, love, and light to fill you up, to soothe your heart, to comfort you. And know, this too shall pass. It's not forever. It's just pretty terrible while it's going on. But find those things to lift you up in the meantime, to help you stay on that higher path so that you don't get drugged down. Yeah, sometimes we do. We have to take the time. We've got to do the grieving. We just don't want to stay there. And think about your little kitty also sending you love and being right there in the mix, going around your legs, offering you comfort at this time that you need it. Hi, Elver. Welcome. Okay, you have to see the John Lennon video. Yeah, it was really amazing. What he came out with, I never would have expected. Of course, with Helen's questions, we had a really incredible time together. He's doing really well, by the way, and just having a ball helping out all the musicians. Gino Yuka, you're never late. As long as you get here, that's what counts. We're happy to have you. Hi, Jolie. First time, so welcome. Yeah, we are up to our armpits in Lightworkers here, and we love it that way. Yes. You remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah. That's like a pivotal life moment, isn't it? Just imprints on your soul. And how blessed you were to have that. It's amazing. Yeah, Betty, you enjoyed the John Lennon. You will really, really enjoy that video. You'll just go search for it on Helen's channel and you'll find it. Laura, will there be another pandemic next year? Oh gosh, I hope not, but let's ask. So, team, can you tell us? Is it highly likely that there will be another pandemic in 2025? I'm getting a maybe on that. So will there be something different? Not the exact same kind of catastrophe, but something else? Yeah. So it won't be the COVID. No, it won't be that. Will it be a mutation of that? Not exactly. Will it be a virus? No, it's not going to be that either. Okay. Is it something insect? Something insect related. I don't know if I want to get any more on that. Something insect related, but yeah, highly likely something. There is going to be so much shifting going on in the next couple of years. All for a good cause, because we are moving towards Earthtopia. I mean, we are like hurtling towards it now, which is incredible how fast it's coming. So as long as we keep our wits about us, stay connected with our angels and one another, keep moving forward together, wearing our angel armor, we are going to make it. And we can even make it faster. When enough of us get on board with this project, we can speed up the timeline. We've already done that because it was going to be 2028. And now it looks like it could be 2026. So we've already done some acceleration, and more of that, please. Marianne, you're curious about the role of personal power in manifestation and achieving goals. The personal power for manifestation is huge because your thoughts create things. Your actions help to create those things, your inspired ideas that you take action on. So for each individual, as you connect with that understanding, realizing that you are creating your reality, it's just a matter of tweaking and figuring it out. Let the angels know what you want. Believe that it's happening. This or something better always. So know that it might look different than you asked for, and allow it to look different and better. Just go with that flow. Thanking. Don't keep asking for the same thing. Once you've asked, let it go, and then be in gratitude that it's coming. And as soon as you get that inspired idea, take action. The sooner, the better. That gets you on the path to more manifestations faster. And once you've been doing it for a while, it gets way easier. And we have that idea that the bigger the ask, the longer it takes or the harder it is. And just know that that is nonsense. We are unlimited beings. There is no cap on our manifestations other than what we put there ourselves. So if you can dream it, you can ask for it. Now, I have figured out through lots of trial and error that asking for a lottery win is like one of those things. It's really hard because, for one thing, a lottery win might not be in your highest and best interest. A lot of people suffer afterwards. There are other ways to achieve those same goals. So sure, play with it if you want to, but just know that one, a lot of people have tried and very few have been able to successfully manifest it. That one's just one that's more luck, because the angels know the best way to get you to where you want and need to be. And that's always going to be their goal, helping you get there in the highest and best, because they have your pre-birth plan. When they're working with you, your personal team has your plan right there. They're working from your plan to help you achieve what you said you wanted to when you came here. So that's all going on. But yeah, it's just get that inspiration, go take action. The sooner the better. And you will facilitate the manifestations. You will surprise yourself when you do that. Autocorrect changed the first chat, Gio Yuka. Okay, well, you can type it in again. That's all right. Susan, love, light, peace, and joy. Yes. Flowing all over you, my dear. Just everywhere. Filling your house. Soaking in it. Whatever you need to feel comforted and better. And just always remember, Susan, that those souls who cross over wouldn't have gone if they weren't ready. If it hadn't been in the conflict, it would have been some other way that they went. So that gives me a great deal of comfort, and I hope it does others as well. So it doesn't matter how they went, it just matters it was their time. We can be happy for them that they were ready. They're now out of whatever the conflict or the pain or whatever was going on, and they're in a better place. On to the next adventure. So if we can stay in that mindful state, being happy for them about what they're doing on their next chapter, it helps a lot. You're so welcome, Carefree. Beth, anything that can be done to lessen the impact of the hurricane? Yes, we did that a little bit earlier. We did the prayer calling the angels to put the cap on, to do whatever mitigation they can do. They can't always stop it dead, but they can always do something. They can minimize it, redirect it, out of, the people's way. There's a lot of things they can do. So we're just leaving it up to them to mitigate it in the best way that they can for the highest and best good of all. So yeah, we've actually done that a few times now tonight for various people, in addition to just in general. We can always do that. So for any of you who feel moved to do that, just pause, ask the angels to mitigate in whatever way they can, and then thank them for it. And that's the most powerful thing that you can do right now. So the more of us that join together asking for that, the better. There's more power behind that. We can get more angels involved. Craig, Clara mentioned something coming up that was very important for you, and you promised that you'd be open to it. You feel it's grand and glorious with her help, and you know you'll be fine. I think you talked about that on Psychathon 2, Craig. I remember that. I remember something like that anyway. So yeah, if she said that, I'm sure that it's true. Judy, the purpose of the healer and teachers at this time, beyond just light workers. Well, for everybody, Judy, it's first your soul purpose. So as I mentioned a minute ago, you've got your pre-birth plan. You came here with a specific set of things you wanted to accomplish. Clearing up old karma, new people you wanted to connect with, new experiences you wanted to have, things like that. So that's primary, always primary. But in addition to that, we all came because we wanted to be here at this time when there was so much opportunity for growth as a soul. We wanted to be in the weeds, fighting the battle of light against dark. That's what we're here doing, in addition to our own personal purpose. So I hope that makes sense. Moonchild, you're welcome. Divine Magic Occult. You need to get in touch with me. I don't think you emailed me. You have something you won on the Psychathon 2. I've been waiting to hear from you. So please, Divine Magic Occult, send me an email. answers@akashaunleashed.com. Please and thank you. Or you can just go to my website and hit the contact and send it that way, whichever is easier. So you've been an empath and a clear sentient. You developed channeling and lower plane healing after an NDE when you shamefully after a suicide attempt. Okay. So we'll make this metaphysical for everybody. Nothing shameful about suicide. The angels don't have any criticism about that. God doesn't have any criticism about that. None of the team on the other side has any criticism. Your sovereign soul, you get to decide. Here's the trick, though. If you decide to commit suicide, and it's not one of the exit points that you planned, because we have multiple exit points we plan, if it's not one of those points, you won't be successful, which is why you're still here now. So you learn from it. There's no mistakes. There's no big sins. It's all a learning opportunity. So you take what you learned, you move on, and you do better. But let go of the shame, because that doesn't serve you or anybody else. It blocks you. So you want to let that go. And that is so wonderful that you opened up those abilities. They were always there, obviously, and you've now connected with them. So use them in joy, letting go of any negative energy that might be attached to that, because it was your desire to open up and express yourself in that way, and your angels facilitated it. So just joy, expressing it to the fullest, and that will bring you even more joy and will bless other people. So it's wonderful. Linda wants to know how many different types of light workers are here at this time. Got me. I didn't know that there were other types. I just thought we were generic light workers. So let's ask that question. So team, is there more than one kind of light worker here? Yes. Okay. So can you tell us how many kinds are here? Tell us about the different kinds of light workers. Oh, they're at all different levels. At the root of it, they're all kind of doing the same thing, because it's coming and expressing your soul purpose and then expanding your consciousness. So at the root of it, everybody's doing that. All right, so can you give us more detail about? Okay, so they're at different levels. And they don't want to to label it like the senior light workers are the ones who are here fighting the battle. They don't want to label it that way, but there are the more experienced ones who have been doing this for a while, and they are ready for that higher level of the battle to work side by side with the angels. And that's what we talk about a lot. So for you who are with me, you probably are at that higher level, or you wouldn't be vibrating and showing up at my events, because that's what this is all about. This is helping you to reach the higher levels of frequency, vibrational frequency, and consciousness. So we've been working on that a while, and there might be newer ones coming along who are just getting their sea legs under them. So they're a little unsure of themselves. So what happens is we are standing at the front, flanked by our angels. And then they are in the rows to the rear of us in kind of a succession order for how far along they are. So if you could think of it like preschool, kindergarten, grammar school, middle school, high school, college, kind of like that. So it's just, I hope that makes sense. That's what I'm getting. But if you have another specific question that I can dive deeper, feel free to put it in there. That's what I got for right now. But they're deliberately not labeling because they don't want to call it out and make any one soul or other souls feel, quote, special, because we're all equal. We're just at different places on our journey. And, we with our egos tend to, get all up in our egos about that, and they don't want us to do that. Susan, you like watching Rachel Maddow on Monday nights, so you're doing both. Awesome. Yeah. Well, there's always replays of both her and our shows, so you can always get it one way or the other. T-Lin, is it a soul contract or spirit that determines timing and rate at which the spiritual abilities awaken and progress? Well, you come in with wherever you left off the last time, and you've got plans to move along. Whether or not you stick to the plan, you get behind the plan, or you get ahead of the plan is all up to you. So as much as possible, now that you've had that awakening, that you even know that's a possibility, you want to lean into it, do more sooner, right? You'll get more sooner, and you will be at the higher level ready to join, linking arms with the angels as we get into that battle in the front. So the timing and rate just depends on your experiences along the way. You can pick a path where you are more focused and you're connecting more sooner so that you have that fluidity of conversation with your team. That's going to accelerate you. Or you take a different path where maybe you don't even awaken until later in life, which is true for a lot of us that are here tonight. We've talked about it, and it's really interesting how many of us really didn't have a spiritual awakening until our, quote, mature years. That's just the way it worked out. We had a lot of karma to resolve before we got to the place where we were ready to lean into the spiritual. There are other people who were already more awakened when they got here, so they've accelerated faster. So we're all over the map, and it doesn't matter where you are, because the Creator says wherever you are is perfect. So we don't need to compare. We just need to embrace where we are, keep going, expecting more, asking for more, doing more when we feel led, and that will be perfect for us. Hope that makes sense. Oh, so Wednesday is not good for you, Debbie, because of the horse zoom. Okay, cool. Well, I think Tuesday might be a good day because I know there aren't as many things going on Tuesday. I think Whimsy's finished by 9 o'clock. I know she does have a Tuesday event. So Newfie, was Metatron a human or given an angelic soul, or was it the other way around? You heard that somewhere. Yeah, there's a lot of talk and a lot of misunderstanding about Metatron. So here's what you need to know. In the beginning, before we were created, oh gosh, I got a hair here. Whew. There was an Akashic records. So that when we were created, we each automatically, as our soul was created, got our Akashic records. Now, Metatron is the overseer of the Akashic records. That means he was created before the Akashic records. Does that make sense? I hope. So he would have been an archangel at the very beginning, before all the human souls were created, or, whatever planet souls that were created, and the records were created for each of them. Now, since then, because Metatron's job is overseeing humanity and the records, he loves us so deeply, and he wants to understand us better so that he can serve us better. So he has come in various incarnations to learn more about us from the inside out so that he could help us. So he has come as many of the great enlightened leaders, the spiritual leaders, like Jesus, like Buddha, like Muhammad. You could probably rattle off a whole bunch of others. So he's come as any of the spiritual teachers who came with the message of love was probably Metatron. That's the message he brings to us, and that's his heart's desire to bring that to us. Now, he's also come in pretty obscure human incarnations to have that other experience, to learn from the other perspective. So he has had many human incarnations. Presently, he is not incarnated in a body because he's got a lot of work to do on the other side as we are approaching this big battle. So he's a great multitasker. He's told me that. But this is when he wants to be all hands on deck, ready for this battle. So I hope that answers your question. Judy, you're happy to be here first time, so welcome. Glad to have you here. What about Florence, Scovel, Shinn? Can I tune into her? You resonate with her. I think we talked about her on one of her inquiries, but sure, let's see if she has anything she wants to say. So, Florence, Scovel, Shinn, are you available? Would you like to speak with us tonight? Seeing flowers. Lily of the Valleys. I don't know if she was known for that or not, but she's coming with Lily of the Valley, and I can smell it very strong. So, is there anything that you would like to share with us? You have all these lovely people here tonight who would love to hear a message from you. Oh, she's honored to be called. Yes, it is a big task that you have in front of you, but know that you chose this. You are ready. You would not be here incarnated in a body at this time were you not ready. So please understand that. Take heart. Hold on to your faith, your trust, your knowledge of the love that Divine Creator has for you today and every day of your existence, because you are truly precious child of the great Creator. You are here for a special purpose at this time, and they are quite well pleased with your progress. They are always available to assist you with whatever, whenever you need. And children, do not hesitate to call upon Creator themselves. Yes, you can call upon your Akashic team, your angels, your inner circle of guides, enlightened beings. You can call upon anybody from the light. But you can also call upon Creator if that feels good to you. So don't hesitate to do that. Connect with whomever, whenever you desire. You cannot do that often enough, especially in the times in which you live. You need more support. You need that continuous flow of divine love that lifts you up in the dark moments, giving you confidence, peace, and joy. Excitement, knowing that better days are ahead of you. Even while you may feel discouraged as you are in the trenches right now, know that a better, brighter day is coming, and you, dear child, are facilitating that. Celebrate yourself. It is an honor to be a part of this experience at this time, and you were chosen to be here at this time. You volunteered, and you were one of the lucky chosen. So lean in. Gather up all of the juicy, wonderful experience. Revel in it. Don't miss anything. Be present in the moment so that you can fully experience. Because when you leave this life and you return to spirit, you will have so much more material to work with as you plan the next incarnation. And you will have so many parties, more than you can even believe, with your fellow Lightworkers with whom you had this grand experience together. I see so much joy ahead for you, so much deep soul satisfaction. Know that is all awaiting you. I would be there with you if I could, but it was not my time to be there. My time has passed. It will come again in the future, but not this time. Thank you for calling upon me. It is an honor. Well, thank you, Florence. That was really cool. Betty, you wish you knew where she is. Is that the friend who gave you the prediction? Wow, it's like she didn't exist. You got to wonder. Let's ask the question. That friend with the prediction about 2025, was she corporeal? Was she an angel? Was she a guide of some sort? Yeah. She was not corporeal. She just appeared that way. Yeah. So that is really cool. Somebody that you were in touch with, probably from a past life, coming forward to offer you the enlightenment because she knew you would need it in this lifetime. I hope I got the right connection and I'm not talking out of my head about somebody else, but if so, then just know that whoever that person was, that is connected for you, because the angels do that magically. Yes, Chris, Helen asks brilliant questions. That's why I love doing those collaborations with her. It is so deep and so satisfying to take those journeys and really dive deep. And I think one of my favorites so far was George Washington saying that Grant was his favorite president, because, wow, I never would have expected that. And his answer was just so logical. It made so much sense. And then, of course, who was it? Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting her name. The famous black leader who ran for president. Gosh, I'm blanking on her name. You probably know who I'm talking about. She said that Kamala's win is in the stars. She saw it. And that was just so wonderful. Hey, Nancy. Glad you could be here. Hi, Bora Bora. And you need to email me, Bora Bora. I'm still waiting. If you email me, be sure you put your YouTube handle in the email so I can connect the dots, because maybe you did email me and I just didn't know it was you. But I have a gift waiting for you, so I want to connect you. Hi, Maggie. Welcome. Sister of the Rose. Beautiful. So glad to have you here. Betty, you just subscribed to Metatron. Awesome. Yeah, Debbie, that's what I was getting. Something, whatever the pandemic is in 2025, serious, but not a virus like we had last time, something different. Oh, Newfie, maybe genetically engineered mosquitoes. Nothing would surprise me at this point. There's so much wacky stuff out there. And if you either read on Medium or watched on YouTube Metatron's October forecast, he's saying that the end of October, the Draconians are going to come pretending to be friendly ETs. So whatever's coming in 2025, maybe it's the Draconians. Let's just ask that question. Whatever the pandemic is in 2025, will the Draconians be behind it? No. Okay, so they're going to wreak havoc in some other way. Maybe they'll get involved after the fact, but at least it's not originating with them, so that's something. Hey, Vicki, welcome. Cheryl, with the humidity and hurricane, we might have problems with mosquitoes. Yeah, we might. You want to have, I'll write it in here, homeopathic ledum. It is wonderful for mosquito bites, any kind of bug bites, really. And get it in either a 30C or a 200C. I like the bigger numbers, but 30 would still work. but that's good to have around. And you can also use essential oils to ward off the biting bugs. Some of them are really effective, so I would look into that, have that available. Well, welcome, Joyce, for the first time. So happy to have you here. Newfie, they were supposed to release a whole bunch over Florida, or already have. You mean those genetically modified mosquitoes? Yeah, I've read about that. They might have already. Like those crazy things we've had with the killer bees, it's lots of wild stuff out there. When man starts interfering with what Creator made, we can really make a mess. Susan, on another note, not related to anything but uplifting, there's going to be a Forrest Gump type movie called Hope opening on November 1st. If any of you are fans, check it out. I think I saw a commercial for that. It looked really cool. Yeah, we can look forward to more fun stuff like that. I just watched the 3-part series Mother God the other night because somewhere in my research that came up, and I was like astonished. I had never heard about it. Many of you probably know about it. It was one of those cults, and oh my gosh, just a devastating story. So awful. Sadly, those type of things happen. I think she just lost touch with reality and bought into her own story. Cave of Wonders, I can't tell if you were laughing or sneezing. That's a cute emoji there. Okay, you heard a couple of psychics say that winning the lottery has to be part of your life path or soul contract. Yeah, but the thing is, if it's in your contract, you can get the money so many other ways. And when you get it through the lottery, that almost puts a target on your back unless you're really, really careful. So, yeah, there might be some people who have it. I don't know that for sure. Actually, let's ask the question. Is it possible that winning the lottery could be in a soul contract? No, that's not the kind of thing you would. Oh, I get it. Okay. So as a soul, because when you're creating those contracts and when you're creating your life plan, you have more wisdom than that. You wouldn't choose that. You would choose something else. So that's the reason that it wouldn't be there. Newfie, you're looking for Spaceballs too. I didn't know there was one, but that would be fun. We need more fun, enlightening stuff like that to lift us up out of the doldrums. Rossi, you always ask to dissipate the hurricane. Yeah, that's beautiful. Whatever you feel led to say, it's all effective. The angels will do whatever they can when we call them. Vote blue. What is the most common life path during this time? You're hoping it matches yours. I'm not quite sure what a common life path would be because they're so different. But let's just ask. Is there a common life path at this time on Earth? No, they're too variable. Vote blue. Because here's the thing. They just popped this in for me, reminding me. Every soul is unique. And when you hear that, you go, how can that be? Trillions, gazillions, whatever that big number of souls in the multiverse is, how can they all be unique? Well, because they are made up of these components in your soul blueprint. And this is something I do in the soul introduction reading. I go through those components of your soul matrix, the blueprint. So you have these components, but you have them different ones from other people, different combinations. And the way that they interact with each other is also different. That's how no two souls are alike. So it's not going to be such a common thing. There would be categories, but even within the categories where you share similarities with other people, you're still going to be unique. So I hope that makes sense. Whatever yours is perfect for you. And on top of that, I'm also being reminded to tell you this. Whatever it is, it's yours for eternity, because when Creator made you, you got these aspects that were all put together to form you as that perfect soul. They never change. The gender can change. You get a soul gender at the beginning, but when you incarnate, you get to choose the gender. So you can be male, female, or androgynous. And we've all had the experience of all those genders because we want that broader experience to understand one another better. So I hope that makes sense. Debbie, you've gotten that big events are special chances for souls to check out of this lifetime, and they're given assistance from the other side for a quick transition and orientation. Yeah, it could be. And we are seeing a really big exodus of souls again. It seems like, I don't know, every 6 months or so, all of a sudden, a lot of souls start going all at once, enough that it's noticeable. So, yeah, they just must have been on the same timeline and ready to get the heck out of Dodge before things get more serious. And we have seen that. The pandemic was one way that a lot of souls chose to exit. It was just a convenient way for, bam, let's all get out of here. Because they don't want to be here for the hard stuff. They've opted out of it. And no judgment about that either. That's their choice as a soul. They can decide if they want to be here or not. But the ones of us who are still here, we are the hardcore students. We want to get as much out of this life experience as we can get. So that's why we're here. Somebody's got to do it. So that's why we're doing it. Zzz, you're new, trying to sing more and write songs. You heard your contract was to ascend higher. Everybody's is. Yeah. So welcome. Glad to have you here. Yes, we are working on that collectively at raising our vibrational frequency, which raises us to ever higher levels. So, excuse me, when we incarnated, most of us in this lifetime, we could measure our vibration. Pause, start over. We could measure our vibrational frequency in the 5.0 to 6.0, most of them being at the lower end of 5. Many were 5.2, 5.3, some even at the 5.0. And now when we measure it, and this is part of the soul introduction reading that I measure these things. So now when I check them, I find that people are at the higher end of the 5s, approaching a 6. Some have even crossed over into 6-dimensional awareness. So the ones at the 5th dimensional awareness, which is the 5.0 to 6, they know that they're a soul. They know that there's more and they're connected. When we were at the 4 level, we didn't know we were souls. We were just more reactive to life. And as we move into 6-dimensional awareness, I'm not exactly sure what all that entails because we're just beginning to get that information. But there are people that are already diving into that. So it's going to be more, better, more expansive. And one day we'll go up into the 7s, but that'll be a long time. In past lifetimes, we would ascend maybe 1 or 2 decimal points within an entire lifetime. In this particular lifetime, because we're accelerated, people are going up 3, 4, 5, 6 even tenths in a single lifetime. And they're not done yet because when I'm getting them to read, they're still alive. So by the time they get to the end, most of us maybe will be in the 6s being prepared for the next lifetime to dive into whatever that means. So it's really exciting, all that expansion. And it's really cool to be able to measure it, to see how far did you go since you first incarnated in this lifetime versus where you are now. And the sky's the limit on where you can go. It just depends on how you apply yourself in the rest of this lifetime. It's because we're unlimited. Rose Helia, I see it, but I see your message, but I don't know what this is. You'll have to clue me in. Oh, thank you, Debbie. That will work. Absolutely. Yeah, that's just the contact form on my website. JL, you just joined and you'll watch the replay. Awesome. Yeah, it'll be here for you. Okay. Share spirit. You're listening and enjoying as you paint a mandala. I love that, Share. Just popping into chat to give your deep thanks. You've been feeling lighter with the grief, standing more in your power. Oh, I'm so glad. And Share, I haven't forgotten you. I know that I owe you some meditations. I was working on the web pages today because they did an update on my website and it broke the links. So people all of a sudden were letting me know they couldn't get those meditations. And of course, they were the ones I wanted to get to you. So I should be able to get those to you very soon now that I've got the pages fixed. So I didn't forget you. Amy, you've always fought this battle. Your daughters found your FBI file as a student protester in the 70s. You're still fighting for the right and the rights of all. Bless you. Yeah. My in-laws are like that. They were old-time union people, and they went to a lot of protests. My father-in-law once chained himself to the Washington Monument protesting a black man who had been falsely accused of rape in the South. And a bunch of men in his group did that, while my mother-in-law climbed on a bus and went down south. I don't know if it was Alabama or Mississippi, one of those states, and a big busload of women from New York went down. And they were told that if they were still there when the sun went down, they wouldn't see the sun rise. So they had to turn around and go home. But they did that. They put their lives on the line to go out and help other people. It's just incredible. I can't imagine doing that. But that's the kind of people they are. It's why I'm so blessed to have had them in my life. They were a gift. And I love hearing that there are people like that in this crowd here. We need more like you. Thank you, Debbie. Yeah, question, or you can type it in caps, which some of you are used to doing with other people. I'm okay with that too. It all works. I'm trying to get everybody as I scroll through here, but I might miss some. So you can help me in that way. You are so welcome, Linda. Nancy, you've been on this path for 40 years. Lots of experience, ready now to share and support others. That is beautiful. Put it out there, baby, because they need to hear it. And when you put it out there with that love and intention, those who need it will find it. Amy, you've been gifted with artistic ability. How can you use the gifts to expand the light? You have the gifts for a purpose. Okay, so making it metaphysical, Amy, so that it applies to everybody. What you can do is whatever you feel led to lean into, your gift, whatever feeds your soul, do it, asking your angels for guidance to do it at the highest level that you're capable of doing. And when you create it, interlace it with love, with intention that it will bless. It's like when I do the meditations and I leave the recordings for you guys to use, I ask the angels to, in whatever magical way they do this, because I don't know how they do it, I just know they do it, to encode the words, the vibration, whatever they can, with divine love, light, and the highest intentions for everybody who listens to that meditation. And I know they're doing it because I ask them to. So we can do that, whether it's artwork, whether it's writing, anything that you're creating at all, you can intend and ask the angels to help you with it. And that way it blesses more people. Those are just little things that we can do to help speed up the process as we move to Earthtopia. Rose Helia, I'm seeing your message. I just don't see a question from you yet. Let me just check this. I see that message. I'm checking on the other side, on the YouTube side, because I'm reading comments in StreamYard right now. I think I'm getting them all. And I have YouTube set to show me everything, so it should be here. Yeah, try typing it again. You're saying you're invisible, but I'm seeing these comments. I'm just not seeing the original question. So weird. I should see either everything or nothing from you. Okay, well, I'll stop scrolling over there and come back. So just type it in again, Rose. It's got to show up if I'm seeing these. Acadian Proud sending love and light. Thank you. Protective white light to Florida. Absolutely. Betty, you're embracing your hardships. Your life is amazing when you see it together like stepping stones. Yeah. Yeah, that's something really cool that happens in the soul introduction. When we go in, literally introducing you to your soul, and you learn about these aspects of yourself and how they work together, then you can look back across your life and you can see all the connecting pieces where the angels were there guiding you, nudging you, leading you, bringing you into all these places in order to get you where you are today, and all the amazing experiences that you had along the way. It's such a cool experience to be able to reflect back and see that. It's magical. Working with these angels is just so wonderfully magical all the time. Oh, Divine Magic Occult, answers at akashaunleashed.com. That's my email address. Or you can just go to the website, and as Debbie gave it to you, you can do it that way. Okay, you've read Florence Scovel Shinn's books before. Yeah, I haven't read her. I've heard about her. One day when I have some time to sit down and read. Haven't had that for a while. JL sends Reiki blessings to anybody that needs or wants them, and a special burst of blessings to Florida. Thank you. That's beautiful. Carol, what big battle is coming? I thought we were already in one. We are, but the Draconians are working with the dark forces on Earth. They want to take over. They are threatened by us because we Lightworkers have been so diligent, because we have stepped up as our angels have asked us to fight this battle. It's light against dark for control of the earth. That's the battle. So yeah, we're already in it. But since we all stepped up, they are now threatened by us, and they're amping up their efforts even more, which is why we have got to be on our game, paying attention, present in the moment, leaning on those angels and one another to get us there. We will. It's been guaranteed that we will win. What's not guaranteed is the timeline. So if enough of us come forward to fight this battle and win, it could be 2026 when we hit the very beginning of Earthtopia. It won't transform overnight, but it will start. But if enough of us don't, and the Draconians get the foothold, which is what they're trying to do, then it will postpone Earthtopia, maybe for generations. We just don't know. This is our big opportunity. We don't want to blow it. That's why we're all here. Okay, Florence's book, The Game of Life, is powerful. She was also an artist and illustrator. Oh, cool. I look forward to getting to know her one of these days. Divine Magic Occult. If you feel guilty or judged, Archangel Seraphiel can help you clear out your guilt or concerns as a judgment angel. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. You are so welcome. I hope the message from Florence made sense, because she had a lot to say. That was really surprising. Often when I bring somebody in like that, they just give us a little nugget, but she just went on and on. Was she an orator? Because it kind of felt like that. Like, she was used to giving speeches. And that's one of your favorite angels. Okay. Divine Magic Occult. Oh, so you're telling me, Linda, that I'm just too far away in the chat, and I've got, yes, Kate, Shirley Chisholm, thank you. That's the one who said that Kamala, she saw it in the stars, that she's the winner. All right, let me hustle, because my gosh, we're already at 10:30 and we don't want to be here all night. Amanda, you wonder what Walter Cronkite would say about the current conditions in the media. So let's ask. Walter Cronkite, sir, are you available? Could you speak to us for a moment? He still has the mustache. I'm seeing that fuzzy mustache. Yes, so could you speak to us about the present state of the media? It's a disgrace. I never would have believed that the media would fall down on the job as they have. It's inconceivable. But it goes back to the education. Education has been lacking in the U.S. for decades. They're not being taught properly. Yes, and of course, when Reagan killed the bill for the truth in media, Was it Fair Truth or something, that bill? Anyway, yeah, so what, Walter? Yeah, that lays at Reagan's feet. He killed that, and he allowed all the lies to come in. And then the Supreme Court, with their bright idea about corporations being people and citizens united. The country has been on a downward trend for decades. It is a sad state of affairs. I'm glad I didn't live to see it. But now, having said that, children, roll up your shirt sleeves and get to work. You can change this. Don't accept it. You cannot turn the clock back. You don't want to go back. You want to go forward. You can march forward arm in arm, righting the wrongs, demanding truth from your media. You have the internet. We didn't have the internet. Use it. Be wise. Examine more than one news source. Don't take it at face value. You must be brave. You must be wise. You must help one another see through the lies, the deceptions, the sleight of hand. There's so much trickery afoot. You can overcome it, but it will not be easy. Stand together. Help one another see the truth. Never give up. Your future, the country's future, is worth fighting for. I have faith in you that you can turn things around. Blessings and peace to all of you. Thank you, Walter. I hope. We will do our best. We really will. But, we could use your help too. He nodded his head. Yeah, he will help us from the other side as much as he can. The sky feeling hypnotizing? Is the sky feeling hypnotizing? What's that about? Haha, that's the angels, Letty. The angels are using the clouds to send messages to more people. That's why you're drawn to looking at them. Like if you get my newsletter on Sunday, I sent you a picture of some clouds that I swear looked like a whole battalion of archangels, the big ones, and then behind them were a bunch of small angels, and it was all across one side of the sky. It was incredible. So they are trying to communicate through the clouds. Pay attention. There's a reason you're being drawn to gaze. Lean into that. That's one more way the angels can communicate with you. They will use anything they can. All right, let's get moving faster through all of this. Nancy, you just ordered the Metatron book, the 21-Day Challenge, and you've known about him for years and look forward to working with him. Wonderful, wonderful. He is for everybody to work with. He loves all of us equally. There aren't certain people who are special that they can work with him. Everybody can work with him. You're welcome to, or any other angel you feel drawn to. It's perfect. But that course in that book came from Metatron. He designed it so cleverly. It astonishes me every time I think about it, because so many people learn to channel from that book. And I had been trying for years to figure out, how do I teach people to channel, which is not an easy thing to do because there are so many variables. But he quantified it, put it in the book, gave us the examples, and bam, people all over the place are learning to channel by following that course. So it's magnificent. We are very blessed. Sophia, we are going to be uplifting the chat. Absolutely. Amy, you specialize in Celtic iconography. I would love to see that. Yeah, the world doesn't need 45, unlike Biden. Oh, okay. I think you're saying that Kamala is going to hold people accountable. I think so too. I mean, prosecutor. Hello, that's what she does. Yeah, I think she's the right person at the right time. Might not agree on everything, but who do we agree with everything on? We just need the one that matches our values as much as possible and is willing to stand and lead us towards a better day. And I believe she's the right one for right now. Oh, great, Amanda. Yeah, one of these days, I'm going to put a page on my website with all this stuff, because I have so much I've gathered through the years. It's my hobby, because I don't like going to the DR. I prefer to find my own solutions. divine magic occult, you wouldn't want to win the lottery as long as your name would be exposed to everybody. You want your business being your own, not being stalked by people looking for cash. Yeah. And that's why, because I was really trying to do this for like 10 years, dowsing the numbers, everything I could think of. I really thought I could do it. But after 10 years, it's like, okay, I get the message. You're not going to help me do that, probably because it's not in my best interest. But I did a lot of research, and what I learned is that some states you can be anonymous and receive the money. So as long as you don't go telling people, and you keep your lifestyle manageable where it's not, flagrant in people's faces, you can do very well. But there are other states where you have to declare yourself. So you can set up like a trust and put it into a trust and maybe remain anonymous that way, but it's harder in those states. So that's a reason to get it in the state where they do let you be anonymous. Pennsylvania is not one of those states, by the way. Vote blue, you don't know what your life path is. Okay, so for everybody, Creator says the prime directive, incarnate here into a body, expand your consciousness, find what feeds your soul and do it, and have a really good time. That's the life path for everybody in the broad scope. Now, depending on how your soul is wired, those aspects of your soul I was talking about earlier, you might have a proclivity for certain activities. And if you do those, probably they're going to feed your soul. That's a faster way to get there. But everybody has the ability to just test things out and see what they enjoy doing. If it's something you enjoy doing, then do more of it until you find that thing that feeds your soul and do it. For me, soul introductions, that's what feeds my soul, helping other people to figure out what they're here for and how they can do it faster in the most powerful way. I love doing that. There is nothing that measures up to that, although channeling is a very close second. But yeah, that feeds my soul, so I'm doing it and I'm blessed to do it. I want that for all of you. So don't stop looking until you find the thing that feeds your soul and do it. But don't forget the fun and the consciousness expansion. It's a three-pronged story there. You want all the three pieces. The fun shifts your energy into a place where you're more open to receiving the messages. So that's really important. Happy birthday, Marby! October the 9th? Okay! Happy birthday, Marby! I hope it's a fabulous birthday, very special. Everything and everyone that you want being there, loving and blessing you because you deserve that. T-Lynn, earlier pandemic question made you think of a story about an Oklahoma girls soccer team with unusual symptoms they think are mosquitoes or another insect. Yeah, it could be. We'll have to stay alert to that because there are things we can do with the angels. We just have to, when we get there and we see what the issue is, then ask for the help that we need. Your ancestors are reaching out to sing and carry their legacy. That's beautiful. Vote blue. When am I going to do soul introduction readings again? Very interesting. I do them all the time. You go to my website and book them. Those I don't do for free. Those are my bread and butter. I can do a lot of free stuff, but that I have to be paid for. That's very special. And it can take an hour and a half or 2 hours. It can take a really long time because there's so much information that I share with you. But yeah, soul introductions you will find. Occasionally I might give one away, but not even very often. They're just really special. And I find people don't appreciate things they get for free as much as they do things they pay for. And they're so profound and sacred that I don't want to spend my time with somebody who's not going to take that information and transform their life with it, because that's what it does. It's such an honor to do them and a blessing. Rose, at 10:19, I see your message, but I still don't see a question from you. So I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Tammy, you are not late. We're still going strong. Yep, Rose, I see the message. I don't know why you keep saying, oh, well. When I get to it, I say I see it. So, yeah, that was like 20 minutes ago. So I'm 20 minutes behind in the chat, apparently. JL, a witch or seer in a past life, would they be a higher vibrational number back then? Not that high, JL, because we weren't ready to go into those higher levels before. There might have been a few exceptions, like I'm sure Jesus had a higher vibrational frequency because he was Metatron, right? But we weren't measuring those things. We didn't know about them back then. So, yeah, it's unlikely they would be that much higher because they would really stand out amongst the other people, which could put them in danger. So they're coming along like everybody else, but they would probably be some number away from the regular people just as a result of the work that they had done. Oh, Cher, I promised you some help with the grief relief, remember? So, yeah, that's what I want to get to you. Linda, look into astrology or numerology, a lot of information about talents and traits. Yeah, I assume you're just generically saying that. Yeah, I played with numerology, and my name and my birth date are both 11s. That is not an accident. And it's not an accident that I'm channeling Metatron. I think all of that stuff went together. So, yeah, there's a lot to be found. And my cell phone number, also an 11. That's just freaky. Rose, I see the message in all caps, 1021. Yep. I still don't know what your question is, though. You're not invisible, not at all. But you see, if you don't ask me a question, then I'm not necessarily acknowledging your message because I'm trying to get through a lot of them right now. Yes, Bora Bora, thank you for that. Leave a comment on the video afterwards because that helps the algorithm to show it to more people. And if we're going to get to Earthtopia faster, we need more people to get these messages, to get on the ball and join us. Let's link our arms and get there together faster. We will all appreciate it. Okay, Rose, you were the person who had an experience that no psychics have been able to perceive yet. And I wondered if, okay, so that's a deep one, Rose. Come to my third Saturday on Zoom, and I will tackle that question for you. Because I did tackle it briefly on the psychathon, but it wasn't enough time to really delve in, and I need to be able to ask you questions. So come on the Zoom. You have to be on my mailing list. So go to DeborahLupien.com, Deborah with two B's, and sign up for the VIP list. You will get the Zoom link, and then we'll tackle that question. I don't know whether I can get you an answer. I just know I will do my best to see what I can get. So if there's something that the other side wants to share with you, we will get it. Oh, I see. You thought you had to be acknowledged before you could ask a question? No. No, and in fact, people just popping stuff in there that's not a question actually slows it down because I'm scrolling through all of it so that I don't miss your questions. So no, unless you have something you're saying to somebody else or something you're contributing to the conversation, no, you don't have to put anything in there until you're ready to ask a question. Yeah, Betty, magical. I'm so glad that you felt that too, because oh my gosh, it just changes your life in the most delicious way. I want everybody to get that. The magical living with angels. And you talk to my friend Debbie the Wrench here. She has been doing that for a while now, and watching the magic show up in her life on a regular basis has just been so exciting and satisfying. For me watching, but definitely delicious and satisfying for her. It's just all amazing that we get to do this. Craig. Oh, I see. You're just talking to Rose. Okay. Amy, you've been fighting this battle for decades and you believe the light will win. Metatron has promised us we will win. Again, it's a question of timing. Are we going to get it this time? Or are they going to temporarily best us and then it gets delayed? I really think we're going to get it. But it requires a certain number of us. We have to hit that tipping point. We're not there yet, which is why it is so important to get more people to come to these, to get these messages, to join us. We need them all now, ASAP, so we can get there sooner. Jane, welcome. Glad you made it. We are here the first Monday of every month, so please come back. And there's a lot of stuff in between, too. Divine Magic, you copied it. Awesome. Metatron's been there for you in the worst times in your life. That is so wonderful. He is for everybody, whether you call him Jesus or whether you call him Buddha or Muhammad or maybe Gandhi. I'm not sure whether Gandhi was Metatron or not. But Yogananda, also Metatron, came to me one time and showed me that. It was really cool. So whoever it was, they were all there for you. Divine Magic Occult, you think he'd be manipulated by the Heritage Foundation? They came into being during his reign as president. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Was it Walter Cronkite or somebody else? Betty, from what Walter said about the media, excuse me, I don't think it can be fixed. I think it has to be restructured. Because, even some of the ones who used to be the best, like Rachel, I don't watch Rachel anymore because what she's telling us is not the unvarnished truth that she used to tell us when she was on that radio program, Voice of America or whatever it was. She was so much better then, but her corporate handlers have reined her in. She's not allowed to say all the things. I was so disappointed in how she and her colleagues were all pushing the jab. Because it's like, come on, let people make their own choice. You should not be pushing that using your influence. That's just so wrong. And there are people who really regretted doing that. They've had health problems. Some have died. Everybody needed to decide that for themselves without that kind of pressure. And there's a lot of stuff like that where they probably think they're doing the right thing, but it's not helpful. I want the truth. I don't want games and garbage, which is why I listen to Keith Olbermann Monday through Friday on his podcast because, yeah, he's got a big ego and sometimes he can be tough to take. And I think he's probably a bit of a misogynist, but he tells the truth. I have not so far found anything that was really totally wrong with what he's shared. And so that's a good source. But also, we have to, as Walter said, we've got to compare. You can't just take one source. You've got to contrast and compare between multiple sources to figure out what the real truth is and ask your angels to help you suss it out as well. I do all of that. You just can't take anything at face value anymore. Divine Magic Occult. Take Massachusetts priests, for example. Many marched to the Supreme Court demanding Christian nationalism be abolished. Yeah, bless them. But then how many priests were involved in really bad things? There's just a lot of issues everywhere. There's a lot of cleaning up to do, which we will be doing. Betty, you're working with the FCC to fix Media Truth and get rid of Fox News following Dan Rather. Yeah, well, he blew it once upon a time, and I think there was one point where somebody asked me about him, and what I got was that he was trying to make up for that time because he deeply regretted it. T. Lynn, I think I answered a question for you, but I'm not sure. Maybe somebody else will chime in with that. Yeah, tell us what it is again, and if I did already, then I'll remember. Oh, no apologies for bad grammar. So you do what you got to do. Yeah, and if you're dictating it, who knows what it's going to come out as? The AI it tries its best to be helpful, but not always. Okay, let's see. Are we getting close to the bottom yet? Yes, I am behind. I'm up to 1042 now, so catching up. Oh, I've turned off super chats for now until after the election, Divine Magic, because when we had the first psychathon, I had no idea that would be a problem, and people were giving to me instead of to the Harris campaign. So I had to turn it off. And I've just left it off because, any of my events are open to take donations for the Harris campaign. And, I don't want to mix that up. So once the election's over, I will turn super chats back on, and then you're free to express your appreciation, which I deeply appreciate. I do have the Ko-fi account, so if you find me on Ko-fi, you can always do a thing there. A lot of people have that. Rose, no need to apologize. We're on the same page now. Hallelujah. I'm glad about that. Lisa Marie and D. Riley Keough doing her book. So that's a continuation of Elvis and Lisa Marie. We can take that. So Lisa Marie, what do you think about D. Riley Keough in the book? She's smiling. She's happy about it. Not only because it will get the truth out, but she's happy for the experience, for the author. Now, I don't know if D is a male or female, but I think it might be a female. You said her book, so it must be a her. So happy for her having the experience, being the author, stepping up, and more will come from that. So she's very pleased about it. Starseeds, you're a 33 life path made out of being born on a 22 year. Your day and month adds to 11. Wow, wow, wow. I don't know that significance, Starseeds. That's a numerological question, but let me just see if the angels have anything to say about it. It's big significance. That's what they're saying. Highly significant. It's also a big God wink to you saying, honey child, you better get serious about your spiritual journey because we have lined you up with all the tools. Work it, baby, work it. So it's a big affirmation for you. It's like, boy, can they wave any more checkered flags at you to say, hey, you won the lottery in this respect. So get out there, work it, live it fully. Don't waste a day. That's what it's about. Encouragement for you to live a more exuberant, soul-satisfying life. Don't leave any stone unturned in that journey. Really go for the gusto. Tim Blackvale. Tim Blackvale, you won something on Psychathon 2. You need to email me. I want to get it to you. Your question is, when the Anasazi Indians disappeared over 1,000 years ago, where did they go? Okay, so Anasazis, 1,000 years ago when you left, where did you go? I see them stepping sideways. It's a really weird visual. So it's like there's a parallel dimension, but it's a higher vibrational frequency. So they left this one behind because it was too low frequency for them. And it would have been dangerous for them to hang around. So they did that step sideways into that parallel. And they're still continuing on. We're just not aware of them because they moved away. And I've been shown in the past that things like the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot, what else? Like the abominable snowman, the Yeti, those kind of mythical creatures. The reason we can never seem to find them is because they do the same thing. They're actually from a parallel, and they come over here on a lark to have fun. They love getting people all worked up and then disappearing before anybody can snatch them up. So it's kind of similar to that. So let's ask that question. Are the Anasazi hanging out with the legendary mythical creatures? Are they all in the same place? Yeah, okay. Interesting. Okay. Oh, thank you, Bora Bora. What a great thing. Thanking all of the chatters and the lurkers for being here. Yes, absolutely. We have 82 people here. I think that might be a record for a Monday night. Super excited to have you all here. Oh, Reagan, Betty. Okay, that's who you were talking about with the Fair Trade Act or whatever that was. Yeah. Well, he's got karma to pay for with that one because what a mess he left in his wake. Yeah, Marva, you feel the same way about Rachel? It's so sad because she is so freaking smart. And the stuff she's doing outside of the channel, she's doing some really great work. Just an amazing researcher and bringing all those stories forward, but you got to watch the podcast to get all of that stuff. I only have so many hours in the day, so I'm not getting that. Yeah, it is sad, Betty, because, she seemed like she had a lot of integrity and wouldn't be swayed by that, but she got such a great deal. And I think that's why she negotiated that deal, because it was not satisfying for her to be held on a tight rein. She gets away with more than the others do, but there's a lot she's not talking about that she could be. Starseed's wisdom, you love working with Spirit and Archangel Michael with you always. Love it when you know things before they happen. Yeah, it's beautiful. And Betty, you're writing the FCC. That's great. That's the kind of activity we need. Divine Magic Occult. It's wishful thinking. Many want Fox gone, but no luck. I don't know. I feel the day's coming when they will be gone. Things are starting to change. And they had all those lawsuits that practically put them out of business. So how long can they keep doing that? Something's got to shift. And as more people wake up from the cult mentality, they're no longer going to tolerate that. They're going to ask for more. So as the market shrinks, they'll have to shift. And I understand that one of the Murdoch brothers wants to change it to something better. So who knows? It could happen. Oh, yes, T. Lynn, it was answered. Spirit or soul contract determining the abilities. Yeah, that was answered earlier. So if you remember about what time you took your little break, you can search that chunk. You'll find it. You made a donation last Friday, Divine Magic Occult. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yes. And the Harris campaign does too. Being counted. It's just so important. You can email me, Amy. Do a snapshot so it's small and it will fit. answers@akashaunleashed.com. Or just go to my website. I have two. I've got akashaunleashed.com and I've got deboralupien.com. You can go to either one of those and hit the contact form and just do an attachment. That would work too. Divine Magic Occult. Will Leonard Leo be held accountable for his involvement in the coup? That's a great question. Angels, is it highly likely that Leonard Leo will be held accountable for his part in the coup? No. I see him like a dirty rat scurrying away. He's got fall guys in place that will, they'll take the brunt of it. He'll get away. Whether he has to flee or he just finds workarounds because he's got the money to do it, but no. However, he can't escape karma. Karma's going to take a big hunk out of his behind. So we know that. We don't want to feel happy about that or ask for it or any of those things because then that bounces back on us. But we can take satisfaction in knowing that karma is perfect. It always comes back around on us and everybody else. So karma will out in this case. You're being blocked from looking into him. Yeah. It could be somebody who knew that you were doing that blocked you, because that's perfectly possible. Craig, glad to hear that commingling of funds is not a good idea because you have to report it. Oh, yeah. So I think you're talking about the super chats on the psychathon. So what I had to do was I just then did a donation in that amount and sent it there. Technically, I wasn't supposed to do that because they have these weird federal laws. But the way I look at it, that money was paid to me so I can donate it. So I just did the donation in the like amount, and that way it cleared this late as far as I'm concerned. But it was just easier once I understood that's what was going on. And Sherry kindly walked me through behind the scenes how to turn that back off. Because while we were live, it's like, how do I do that in a 24-hour live stream? But we got it all worked out, got turned off, and that stopped the flow, which was really helpful. It wasn't that many people, but still, it helped a lot having it fixed. Yeah, T-Lynn, I knew that it was Lisa's child, because I knew her married name was Keo, but I didn't know if it was male or female. Betty, you're a 5 life path, and that's perfect for you. Yeah. Oh, thank you for putting the email in there, Jamie. I appreciate that. And I need to hear from you, Jamie. I have a prize for you, too. I still haven't heard from you. I don't know why these people don't want to collect their prizes. They're still waiting. We want you to have them. Hey, Sharon Sipe. Great to see you. Prayers and there goes Siri again.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
No. I have to stop saying the hey. That's catching her attention. Okay. Glad you could come, Sharon. Z. Thank you. Danielle Riley Keogh is the full name. Sending love to Lisa Marie. Yeah. You are so welcome. Starseed Wisdom, you have a lot of challenges in your life, including a neurodivergent child. Oh, love, prayers, angels to you. But just know, those neurodivergent kids, they are special. They're bringing something special to the planet. We just have to make the space and the support for them to bring that out. That's why they came in larger numbers. They're going to help to change things for us as we move towards Earthtopia. They're very important. Hey, Gigi, great to see you. You work with the Archangels of Magic in your morning ritual. The Metatron sigil is the start. Love them. That's wonderful. Beautiful. Yeah, hit the like button. I don't like to say smash because it's so violent and we have too much violence in this world already. But you can tap the like button. That would be great. Yeah, T-Lynn, I heard about Jen Bushman and the Sasquatch. She was on Next Level Soul, and I heard the story there. So if you haven't heard her on Next Level Soul, go watch that. Starseed Wisdom, I am happy you found us too. You are so welcome to be here. Chris, Lawrence O'Donnell still seems honest. What do you think about that? I do. He finds a way of getting around things. He's really diplomatic that way, probably from all those years that he worked for Moynihan in the Senate. Yeah, he's good. He still doesn't come out the way Rachel used to. He's just more diplomatic. But yeah, I'll take whatever we can get. Yeah, we're still here, Newfie. I thought we'd be done by now, but hopefully we're getting close to the bottom. Yeah, it looks like I am. I told my husband it would be 2 hours or less. Oops. Oh well. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. I want to try and get to all your questions before we wrap it up here. Sharon Sipe, what does your schedule look like for, and the other wrenches, what does your schedule look like for next Tuesday at 9 o'clock Eastern? Can you come for a wrench appreciation night where you get to ask the questions? The other chatters can watch and comment, but the wrenches will be the ones who ask the questions. So if enough of you can come then, we'll do it then. And if not, if that's not a good time, let me know what are some good times. We'll figure it out because I do want to do the wrench appreciation night. And I don't want to let that wait. You guys have already done so much. I want to do that for you sooner rather than later. Marilyn, you are welcome whenever you get here. Nicole, you want a prize? We probably won't be doing those prizes again because, as I told the people last Monday, I think it was when I did the forecast, they really became a problem. And I think they attracted a lot of people who were just there for the giveaways, and they really weren't part of what we're trying to accomplish as Lightworkers. So if they're going to have that kind of a negative impact, then we don't need to do them because I really don't want to attract that energy. I want the people who are here because we are a team working together for Earthtopia. Plus, it's taken a lot of time to try and match people up and manage the whole thing, which it made it overly difficult. It didn't need to be. Yeah, isn't that funny? Share Spirit. Siri wants to be a part of the game here. Oh, Divine Magic Occult. You're breaking news here. Kevin Roberts will be getting hit with something 10 months after Harris becomes president. And well-deserved, I might say. Kevin Roberts, for those of you who don't know, is the guy that's behind Project 2025 at the Heritage Foundation. Yeah, smoosh, that's good, Debbie. Nicole, you're going through a huge tower moment and a man entered your life. You're having a hard time understanding the intentions. Prayers for you that everything works out. Yes. Angels, please put a protective bubble around Nicole. Protect her from ill intentions. Help her to tap into her intuition, to know whether or not this is a positive relationship for her. Give her love and support through this trying time. The tower moment will pass quickly. When those things happen, the sooner you listen to intuition and take action, the faster they go. So you want to do that. Look for that inspired idea from your angels and go do it quickly. That will make a huge difference. Okay, I think we're just about at the bottom. Let's see. Maureen, you're glad that we had Psychathon and you were happy to donate, and we so appreciated it. It was wonderful. So for those of you who came late, I explained that originally the angels had asked for 3, and I was aiming towards November 2nd or maybe 3rd, but I got a lot of feedback that people thought it was too soon to do another event, and they wanted to do it after the election. And I'm like, wait a minute, the whole point of this was before the election so that we could affect the election. After, it's not going to make a difference. So I don't know what the 3rd one will look like. I'm trying to figure that out, waiting for the angels to bring that into clarity. I still think there will be a 3rd one because 3 is a magic number. There's a reason they said 3. And maybe there will just be more recorded bits. So there's not all of the people coming and going, because part 2 was a little too frenetic. I had so many readers that I had to make the spots shorter, and it just really felt very rushed. And I didn't like the pace at all. So that's got to change. But I do think there's some research I'm doing right now that might end up being a part of it. And if that comes together, then maybe we can do a shorter, some kind of event and see how that goes. But less emphasis on donations, more emphasis on just the individuals giving the smallest amount that they can, just to stand up and be counted among those people supporting the Harris Waltz campaign. That's all we really need, because I know your resources are stretched pretty thin with all the causes that are going on right now. It's hard some days, and I don't want to be putting that kind of pressure on you. So we'll have a love event of some sort. Meanwhile, we're going to have the big love event next week when I hear from all of you wrenches. And you can email me if you want. Let me know what are some good times for you, and I'll go with whatever the majority wants to do. Yeah, people get paid all over the place, so it's hard to work around that. We just do the best that we can. Starseed, you feel the seriousness of the mission of being on Earth and the difficulty of being on Earth. Yeah, it really is, but we don't want to focus on that. We want to acknowledge it for ourselves, but then we want to focus on the magical life that we have with our angels every day, where it doesn't feel so hard. When we're in alignment with our soul and having the angels bring that magic, it feels easy. It feels like we're in the flow. That's what we want. So as much as possible, look for those messages, take action quickly, be in the flow, experiencing the magic with your angels. You hang around with us long enough, and we'll help you figure it out if you haven't already. Yes, Linda, thank you. Blessings to all. Peace, love, and harmony on earth. Please and amen. Absolutely. Rossi, that's why you have to be in the present, using intuition to make quicker decisions. Absolutely. And it gets easier with practice. If you're not used to being in the moment, looking for those synchronicities and coincidences and God winks, then it takes some practice to get there. But step by step, you will get there. It's making the effort, setting the intention, and asking your angels for a little more help. You will do it. Yeah, I won't be doing a fundraiser for the hurricane victims, Maureen. Enough people are doing that. So if I do something, it would be about the election. That's what the angels asked me to do. It was like, do everything you can do to save democracy. And they said 3 events. So That's why I feel like I have to do a third one, but I just don't know what it's going to look like yet. And I will let you guys know as soon as I know. Debbie says November 3rd would be a perfect echo on the number 3 and the personal 11. Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. And I think that's a Sunday. And when we did Saturday last time, I don't know, we got a different crowd. So maybe doing it on Sunday is better. Yes, Marby, the angels will be telling me. It's just they're giving me a break because it was a pretty intense couple of months. So whatever it is won't be as intense or as taxing on me or anybody who's involved. They're going to find a way to make it flow more. Divine Magic Occult. Yeah, people are here for personal gain. They shouldn't be here. Well, I don't want to tell them to go away, but get with the program. That's not what this is about. Sure, personal gain does come when you're in alignment with your soul purpose. That's just part of the flow. You should be an abundant soul. But at the core of it, it's about your spiritual journey and together helping one another to ascend the vibrational frequency faster. That's what we're all about here. Share Spirit, you like the 3rd? Okay, cool. Divine Magic Occult. Personal opinion, you'd like nothing better than to curse the Heritage Foundation and Trump, but you don't. We don't have to. They're going to get their own comeuppance when it's time. Yeah, we're trying not to focus on 45 Betty. We're putting focus on Harris and the wonderful things she's going to do because the media are causing a huge problem by all the coverage they're giving to that toad. That's why he's been so elevated. He gets all that attention. We want to stop that. It's just not helpful. Divine Magic Occult, you took an oath never to abuse your abilities and to help people that genuinely need it. Yeah, pretty much all light workers are in that way of thinking, whether they've done it officially or not. Yeah, that's just the whole point. Letty, you are so welcome. I'm so glad you're here. It's always good to see you. Starseed, Wisdom, you do reading on your channel, although you've been on a break. Yeah, we all need them from time to time. Nancy Castero, the energy of our contributions, no matter how small, will take us forward in a big way. Yeah, absolutely. Amen. Yeah, it's not the amount. It's the stepping up and being counted. That's what's important. Amy, you would give an artwork to the efforts. You've done many small dollar donations to Vote Blue. You have more talent than money. Yeah. If we were doing giveaways, that would be perfect. Denise Siegel gave away a painting or two. I think it was on the first Psychothon. Yeah. If we do that in the future, jump in. Yeah. At this point, I don't know. I'm not looking that far ahead. I'm only doing, this little bit. Because, they tell us, like Martin Luther King said, you don't need to see the top of the staircase. You just need to see the next step. And that's the way my angels work with me. They don't show me what's way out there because it'd probably scare the heck out of me and I wouldn't want to do it. And I know I'm on a really big up level right now with my abilities. They've told me that, and I've sure felt it. So whatever it is, I'm hanging on for dear life, just going and staying in the flow as best I can, and whatever comes, comes. That's the best I can do. Yeah, making a wish on those angel numbers, you bet. That is so cool, Divine Magic Occult, that you found the website through Google. Oh, and you sent the message to collect your reading. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Debbie, you're anticipating a final week of all-out gotchas from the Harris team and champions, so hopefully we'll see more released about 45's criming. Yeah, oh please, let that be true. We so need that to wake up any of those cult members who are teetering on the edge of returning to sanity. Yeah, I don't get why the Florida governor is rejecting the funding. That's just, and why don't they kick him out? It's just crazy. But we'll just send love and light, knowing it's all going to come together for the good of everyone at some point. You were brought into the world seeing spirit, drawing spirit to help confirm for people. Archangel Michael you connected with. You weren't supposed to live as a baby. Then you had MS, and you went to study in 2006. That's awesome. You have taken your soul journey and just up a notch. That's beautiful. Keep going. Maureen, your daddy and your husband say, how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? You betcha. Absolutely. Okay, you guys, I'm at the bottom. Happy birthday to all the October people. I'm going to stop taking questions now, and we are going to pause and do a little closing prayer, because I always like to bring the energy down and end it with the angels and gratitude and love. So just take a couple deep breaths. Thank you to all of you for being here. You are magical souls, and I'm delighted and excited to have you as a part of this community. Together, we are going to make history. We're going to right the ship America, and we're going to help bring love, light, peace, and joy to the entire world, because that is the purpose of Lightworkers today. Thank you to all of our teams for being with us, for giving us all of that love, support, and bringing the magic every single day. We so appreciate you. Thank you for the souls who stepped forward to share their wisdom from the other side. Much appreciation to you. And angels, we ask you again, please mitigate in whatever way the storms that are heading our way or wherever they're heading. Mitigate as best you can to keep those souls safe. And for those who cross over, hold their hands and take them peacefully to the other side. Please and thank you with much love. So, love to all of you. Mwah. I will see you maybe next week if you all let me know you want to do next week. So maybe Tuesday at 9 o'clock. We will see. And then the following Saturday, I think, is the third Saturday on Zoom. So I look forward to meeting some new people on that call, answering your questions face to face. All right, everybody. Yes, come bringers of light. Absolutely. Good night and blessings to everyone. Bye for now.